Well, I'm doing good.
Hey, a couple of losses, one an overtime loss to Sulphur Springs, and then a hard-fought game against Lufkin. You guys fall 41-31. Talk a little bit about the start for your football team right now.
Well, we're making strides. The first week defensively we struggled, had a lot of missed tackles. Last week I guess we started off probably the first quarter and maybe 3 minutes and looked a lot like the first week, and then the defense started coming to life. Offense did well. Both games, except for the third quarter last week, the defense picked it up and the offense came out and kind of laid an egg. So, it's just a matter of continuing, getting the pieces of the puzzle together. We're still moving kids around, trying to find the best fit with what we have, and putting both of those phases together at the same time and getting it ready, by Friday night.
How close are you think, to gelling as a football team?
You get frustrated during the game, and then you go back and you watch the film, and, you feel a little bit better because you see kids, reading their keys and doing what they're supposed to do defensively, and then just see some little things on offense that we can continue to get better at. So we're getting closer and closer. We better be a lot closer come Friday night with those lines coming over.
Now, talk a little bit about the performance of LaQuintus Wallace at running back for you.
He's done a good job. He's still... not in good game shape. He's had some hamstrings bothering him earlier in the year that kept him from getting in condition. But LaQuintus has done a good job running downhill, not bouncing stuff and things of that nature, but, just trying to end up every play vertical. And so he's done a good job at that. But, that's a tribute to the line. They're doing a good job opening some holes.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, if LaQuintus Wallace isn't in shape right now and he had 164 yards against Lufkin, Lord, he's going to be scary when he does get in game shape.
Yeah, really, he's just going to get better and better as we go.
And also about your quarterback, Riley Poster.
Yeah, Riley's done a good job. He's done a good job managing the offense. Hadn't made a lot of mistakes, and been pretty spot on his throwing and stuff like that. So he's doing a good job for us.
And you're obviously, again, you mentioned your offensive line, but again, after putting up, scores in the 30s in the first two ball games, and the offense last year was a real problem for Robert E. Lee. So obviously some great improvement there so far in these first two ball games.
Well, we've done a good job of receivers. Riley and the receivers have done a good job throwing the football. So, that's kind of keep people from just loading the box up on the running game and open up some holes on the running game for us. So we'll just have to continue to improve, on our route running and our completion percentage, and then we should be in good shape.
And now, defensively, people would say, well, you're struggling on defense, but you played two of the most explosive offenses in the state here in the last couple of weeks. Talk about where your defense is.
Well, you look, and Sulphur Springs went, they, I guess, in overtime scored 35 total on us, and then they go to Sherman next week and score 42 on them, so they've got a really good offense. Lufkin last week played a good football game and threw and caught the ball, better than they did that first week. So defensively, like I say, we've got a whole set of new linebackers, and, we're not really a throw-and spread type team. So these guys have never played a Friday night football game against a spread team. And, of course, Sulphur was a spread team, and Lufkin was kind of a combination of both. So they're going to continue to improve. And then, secondary-wise, just locking on. The coverages have changed from last year, so they're just going to get better and better at it. And we did a better job last week tackling. We didn't have as many missed tackles. We had 31 that first week. But now the thing we're lacking now is bringing our feet and getting the pile to go in the right direction. Every time we made contact last week, the pile went their way, and we want it to go our way. So they'll have to continue to improve on that.
What kind of a mindset, what kind of a frame of mind is your team in right now? Are they hopeful, or are they buying into what you're doing?
Yeah, they're staying positive. We're going to stay positive with them. They've won 3 games in 2 years, so they've been beat down at home and all around just because they've been losing, and so it's hard to get over that hump. But we just want them to understand that our objective is to win games. But our number one objective is to have a product on the field come that Mesquite Horn First District game that can compete in the district race, and that's what our mindset is. And we don't know, result-wise, like we tell them, we don't know when it's going to click, when it's going to work, but we know it's going to be successful and work.
Talk a little bit about playing John Tyler. This is the first time you've experienced the John Tyler Robert E. Lee game. What have you seen? What's your first impression?
Well, they're really good, and that, we talked about that yesterday with Mr. Coates. They, the two programs are just in different spots. They're talking state championship, and we're trying to get good enough to win a football game. So, they're very talented. Their skilled kids are just unbelievable. I hadn't seen a group like that in a long time, and their kids get after it and play hard. Coach Holmes is doing a great job over there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I mean, this is what Friday Night Football is all about. These kids have known each other a lot of them from elementary through junior high. Some of them played together in junior high, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
What kind of things have your kids told you about playing against a team like John Tyler, a crosstown rival? Really,
they're doing a good job of mainly focusing on us, and that's what we're trying to get them to do. Is there's going to be hype in a lot of games, and this is a very important football game. But what we got to worry about is the Red Raiders getting better each week and taking care of fixing the things that we need to fix and improve on the things that we can improve on. And, every week, we want to win this week, but we want to win every week. So it's going to be a big atmosphere. And, that's the biggest thing is not letting them get caught up in the hype, because it'll be that way when you start making runs in the playoffs. They'll have to, ignore all the outside distractions and focus on themselves and showing up every day to get better.
What do you think a win would mean to this football team over a team like John Tyler?
Oh, it'd be a great thing for these guys, a big confidence boost, because we know how good they are and what kind of challenge it's gonna be to us. But any win, if they went out there and beat me and the coaches in an 11-on-11 game, if you're winning you feel good, and if you're losing you feel bad. So. Yeah, it'd be a great thing for these guys.
Well, Coach, I know, again, you can see the improvement on the field, and so we do congratulate you on getting them going, and I know it's going in the right direction. So best of luck to you this Friday night against John Tyler.
Well, we appreciate it.
Okay, Coach, thanks very much for talking with us.
Yes, sir.